Hey there, this is Akshat Madan and welcome back to a new video. And in this video, we'll be learning about factory design pattern in Python. So you need to understand that factory design pattern is not specific to Python. You can have this implemented in Java or any other programming language also. Um, Whichever programming language follows the object-oriented design principles, you can implement factory design pattern. So I'll give you a statement that factory design pattern helps you to decouple the object creation logic from the client code. This might sound a bit difficult to understand, or I can say that it helps you to encapsulate the object creation logic from the client code. So this is a bit difficult to understand. So that's why let's see an example, and then I'll come back to this statement. Okay, so let's say I am a factory owner and I'm building this software which helps my factory workers to streamline the process of producing vehicles. Okay, so as this factory is for producing vehicles, so I'll define an abstract class. Okay, because I can have multiple vehicles, my factory can produce cars, scooters, motorcycles, bicycles, a lot of vehicles, right? So that's why I am going to define one abstract class, and then other classes are going to use this abstract class. So I'm going to import abstract class from ABC. So from ABC import ABC, and my classes are also going to have some functions, and abstract class is going to have abstract method. I'll show you the meaning of this, right? Okay. So I'm going to define a vehicle class. Okay, and this is going to use this abstract class, which is there in Python, built in Python. And over here, every vehicle is going to have a name. Okay, so in the initialize function, I'm going to have name. Okay, and I'm going to initialize it. Self.name is name. And every vehicle engine will always start, right? So start engine. So I'm going to say that this function is an abstract method, and whichever class I'm going to create by using this abstract class should have this function. Okay, and this function is nothing but start engine function. Okay, and for now I'm going to say pass, but in my other classes which I'm going to create, like car class, motorcycle class, there we will be implementing this function. And another function, again abstract method, def, uh, I should be able to print the info of this vehicle. So get info of this vehicle. Okay. So for now, my vehicle abstract class only has these two functions. So now let's say first type of vehicle which my factory produces is a car. So I'm going to say car class car, which is going to take help of this abstract class vehicle. Okay. And now when I create a new car, I get two variables. So whenever I create a new car, that means I'm initializing this car class, or basically I'm using a constructor. So first of all, I get the name of this car, like whether this is Audi or BMW, some model, like whatever. So for now, I'm taking name as a variable. And I should also get the doors, number of doors in this vehicle, in this car. Okay. So let's just initialize that. Self.name is name, and self.doors is equal to doors. Okay, great, simple. And now I need to define these two functions also. So I'll just copy this, and I'll say that whenever my user is starting the engine of this vehicle, I just print, or I just return, let's just print it. Let's print formatted string engine is started of this car. So name, self.name. Okay. Okay. And second function, which is get info. And over here also I'll take help of that object which I'm using. So self, and I'll just print formatted string uh, info of this vehicle name. So self.name, and then I'll say number of doors. Now let's say my factory also produces another type of vehicle, which is a motorcycle. Okay. So over here, I'll say motorcycle. Okay. Over here, I don't take doors. I take CC of this bike, of this motorcycle. And I'll say self.cc, engine is started, info of this is number, and this, over here I'm going to say cc is self.cc. Okay, great. Now my client code is going to start from here. Client code is like creating the objects of these classes. So coming back to my definition, factory design pattern helps us to encapsulate or decouple the object creation logic from the client code. So if I have to create, let's say my factory created a new car. So either I can say car, like a new car. So I can say new car is equal to a new car, and I can pass the name of this car, let's say car, and I can pass the number of doors 4. Okay. So like this also you can create a new class, new object. But let's say the input is coming from the user side, right? That whether I created a car or a motorcycle or a bus or a bicycle, whatever it is. So first of all, I'll take input, right? So I'll say AI is equal to input, uh, enter the vehicle name, right? And now based on the input, I have to check if my I equal to car, then I'm going to create a new car. So car is equal to a new car like this. Else if or elif, if my I equal to motorcycle, then I create a motorcycle. So all of this logic, you see, I have to put in the client code side. Like all of this has to be done by the uh, coder, or it is basically in the client side. I have to write all of this if else if, and let's say there are 100 types of vehicles. I have to write all of that if else. So what? So this thing is solved by the factory design pattern, where it says that you create a new class which handles all of this object creation logic. So I write a new class which is vehicle factory class, vehicle factory class, and it is going to basically take. So I'll define it first. So vehicle factory, and it just has one static method. Okay. Okay. And this function is basically for um, creating the vehicle. And whenever I have to create a new vehicle, I don't have to write all of this. This can go away. And this function takes the name of the, and I'll just say, yeah, name, and it takes some other keyword arguments. Okay. And over here, I can check uh, if. So first of all, I'll just fetch all of my keyword arguments. So if, and over here I can write all the if else things, because this is the class basically designed for creating a new vehicle. So if my name uh, is equal to car, I can say doors is equal to keyword arguments dot get doors, and if no doors are provided, then I can by default say 4. Okay. And now I can return a new car, okay, new car with this name and with these number of doors. Okay. Then again else or elif. Okay. Elif, if name is equal to motorcycle, then my another keyword argument is going to be cc. So cc is equal to keyword arguments dot get cc. By default, I'll say 200. Okay. And in this case, I'm going to return a motorcycle, not a car. And I'll say name, comma, cc. Okay. Else, you can just throw an exception. Okay. Let's say, first of all, we have to create a car. So I'll say car is equal to vehicle factory dot create a new vehicle, name is car, and keyword arguments are like a number of those. So 4. And then And this is a keyword argument, so I'll say doors. Okay. And now let's say you are creating a motorcycle, and let's say I'm now trying to create a motorcycle, so motorcycle, and this is motorcycle, and over here it is going to be cc, let's say 400 cc. Okay, and I can say motorcycle dot get info, and over here also I can say car dot get info. Okay, now let's try to run it. You can see info of car, number of doors 4, info of motorcycle, cc is 400. So without worrying about the type of vehicle we have to create, because that logic we went into the vehicle factory, we created the objects. So that's how the client code doesn't have to worry about the object creation logic. That is taken care by the factory class. Okay, so this is how a factory design pattern works. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till the next video, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.